Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 4 of NSG's Road to Success. Today the topic is going to be... What'd you do?
It just wasn't centered.
The topic for today is going to be about the management team. I keep saying when starting an org, it's very important that you have the right support behind you. As many people can see, whatever community you're involved with, a lot of people who tend to start an organisation on their own tend to either give up or sell up or whatever it may be. It's very important when starting an organisation that you have the right people behind you. There may not be an issue having 2, maybe 3 owners, and get people who you trust. That's very, very important. Get people who you trust, who you know maybe you've worked with before. And if it is going to be a stage where people are having, maybe money every month, you might want to look into getting a contract between everyone. So you can maybe think of, say, maybe five people to start off an organisation. So you could have 2 to 3 owners and possibly then 2 management sort of roles. Say for example you've got 2 teams, a CSGO team, a League of Legends team. You can have 1 manager for the CSGO, 1 manager for the League of Legends. But you don't want to get in to a stage where you're starting to bring managers in and just having them doing nothing, or it could get to the stage where you're having them doing everything. If you're maybe like me and you don't really like to give away too much control, you want to be more involved with your teams. The likes of us, we would have a Skype call every week. We try to have a Skype call with management at least once a week, sometimes more because we've other things to talk about. We try to get a phone call with CSGO team once a week and the League of Legends team once a week. So it's very important that you as an owner, it's your company, your money that's being invested, you want to be heavily involved in that. You maybe don't want a manager going away, looking after your team and then just reporting back to you. You might probably be better off that you actually are more involved with your teams. Another thing you want to may add to your management team could be a coach. Coaches are important, there's no doubt about that, and I think as games start to progress, coaches will become more important. You look at Call of Duty, there used to be coaches and then it stopped, and now with sort of being a wee bit more structure, coaches will start to creep back in. We see Halo starting, coaches in Halo, League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, all starting. Coaches are near enough a priority. So in your organisation, same again, probably the best thing to do is look for someone you may know and someone you can trust, because obviously a lot of coaches nowadays, they expect money, and with an organisation starting out you may not always have money sitting there. Although it may be good, something that we used to do was just have one-off coaching sessions, and it was really good for one of our teams. We were able to pay a guy for a small fee and he could come in. I think he did an hour-and-a-half session. But if there's someone you know, maybe like a friend who's experienced in a certain game, speak to them, say to them, look, we have this team, they are a good team, but they just need that outside help to be able to figure out other teams, come up with their own strategies, find out what we're doing wrong, just simple things like that. A coach is important and could be the decider of, certainly at an amateur level, could be the difference between you winning an event, you losing an event, or even progressing in certain stages. Another thing that could be a good idea for you is making your management team local. We certainly have made ours very local, although we do have a CSGO sort of community manager who is from the mainland, but obviously with us being a dominant Irish org, we are sort of more focused on the Irish scene and people within Ireland, which means that our whole management team can go to an event, and that is important, because certainly from my point of view, I disagree with an organisation just sending their team with no representation from management. That is super important. So dealing with people locally, although yes, some of our team are about 100 miles away, but it's not hard for us. We can get a train, a bus, car journey down, whatever it may be, and that's what we're going to do. Our whole management team will be at the next LAN event, and that's important for your team. Both whatever teams you've got, if you've got loads of teams, you know, it's good. It's for them to actually meet you. A lot of obviously within gaming is dealt with through Skype or social media, whatever it may be. So you're not actually interacting with people properly. You're not interacting with your team. So it's a very good idea to have maybe people local. Certainly, you know, with me doing this video, I'm doing it with a friend who's local. We can set this all up. You know, we have the opportunity to be able to do things like this. So that's maybe something you might want to look into. So when it comes to the funding side of things, if you have 2-3 owners, that's where things could maybe get a wee bit difficult. But that's where contracts are then important, because you know, obviously not everyone can provide the same amount of money towards an organisation. Someone may be able to provide £50 a month, someone may be able to provide £200 a month, whatever it may be. But that's whenever your contract then becomes important, and all contracts are going to be different, because you know, people might disagree. Obviously, you know, people are going to disagree at some stage, I'm sure. If someone ends up leaving, then that's when the contract becomes important, because if someone is looking to leave and they turn around and say, anything I've invested, I want back, that's whenever your contract could say, I'm sorry, you've signed a contract to say anything invested in our organisation, it stays. So that's something you may want to look into. Obviously depends on, at the start obviously depends on money, but if money does start to be brought into your organisation, then that's whenever you want to sort your contract out. So that's going to be it from episode 4 of NSG's Road to Success. As always, any suggestions you have, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. If you do enjoy the video, leave a like. It motivates us to make more videos like this and be able to get the stuff out for you. And obviously subscribe so that you can keep up to date whenever the next video comes out. So we'll see you in the next video.